Coming up in this episode of the Theme Park News Show, I take a look at the construction taking place on West Coast races at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Along with that, I share news from Walt Disney World on the opening of the Disney Skyliner and share some great news from Flamingo Land here in the UK. All of this and so much more. It's Friday the 19th of July 2019 and this is the Theme Park News Show. I'm Sean Sandbrook and welcome to the Theme Park News Show. Lots of new videos have gone online this week here on our YouTube channel. In fact, there's been a new vlog every day since last Friday's episode. 6 new vlogs have been uploaded to the channel. One of those here from the UK, and that's from Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and the rest from our USA road trip. We had a vlog from Kings Island, 2 days at Cedar Point, and 2 days at Dollywood, so make sure you check those out. I'll explain it a little bit here, much like I did in the start of the Blackpool Pleasure Beach vlog. Throughout the rest of the series of the USA videos, I'm going to be uploading a few different vlogs from various UK parks as well, just to keep things a bit varied, so it's not the full trip in one big go. And you've got to think as well, we're also out there filming new content at various different places now, and that would get out of date if I waited until all the America vlogs are online. So yeah, there's going to be a mix. Again, this week you're going to have quite a few new vlogs from the USA trip and another UK vlog as well, so I hope you enjoy it. But yes, in terms of theme park news this week, there's not really been loads going on. It's been a bit of a quiet one, but I've still got a few bits to share with you all as we move in with news on the tracks. Now this year there's been loads of different announcements from Disney parks all across the world, and that continues as we've now got an opening date for the Disney Skyliner at Walt Disney World. So this new transportation system will be able to take guests between 2 of the different theme parks and 4 of the different resorts as well. So it's a massive part of an overall upgrade to the Walt Disney World transportation system. It's certainly needed. I've been there many times. If you've been there yourselves, you'll know how big Walt Disney World is. It's not like Paris where it's all condensed down next to each other. With Walt Disney World, it's very spread out, and it's good to see that the Skyliner is going to be opening, and along with that as well, there's various different other upgrades going on. They're refurbishing some of the monorail trains at the moment, the motor coaches as they call them over there, or as we would just say, a coach or a bus. They're being completely transformed as well. They're putting like USB charging ports in and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, along with that, we've got the Skyliner, which is going to officially open on September the 29th, 2019. So yes, this new gondola system, it's been under construction for quite a while now. There's been a lot of testing taking place over the last few months, work on them station buildings, because they're all themed to the different areas that they're in. Yeah, work on those to complete them has been taking place. So we thought an announcement's got to be coming soon about an opening date. And yeah, the good thing about September the 29th is that me and Charlotte are actually going to be out in Florida at that time on our trip. So yeah, we'll head down there on the first day and check out the Skyliner. I mean, we're going to be getting quite a bit of stuff on that trip. Galaxy's Edge, that's going to have just opened, because that's opening of course in August. So we'll get to see all of that. Skyliner opening day. We'll be there for the last day of Illuminations in Epcot, and also the first day of the new show that's replacing it as well, Epcot Forever. So yeah, we've got lots of stuff to look forward to, and that's just in Disney. Then you think about we're getting on Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, down at Universal Islands of Adventure, Tigris, up at Busch Gardens Tampa, you know, loads to look forward to. But yeah, very excited for this because it's going to connect a lot more of Walt Disney World together. It's a huge resort, it's certainly well needed. It's going to actually connect Hollywood Studios and Epcot, which are the 2 theme parks that's part of this transportation system. Obviously you've got the other 2 theme parks and 2 water parks in Walt Disney World as well. Along with that, it's going to connect the Art of Animation Resort, Pop Century Resort, the Caribbean Beach Resort, and the new Riviera Resort. But there you go, yeah, the brilliant new transportation system. The gondolas look like they move really quick. There's been a few concerns about air conditioning because they've not got an air conditioning unit in there. So I don't know, like, let me know your thoughts on that one. I'm assuming that they're going to keep the windows open and the breeze will sort of blow into the gondolas and they won't get too hot, fingers crossed, or I'm hoping that Disney have thought about this through, so I'm sure they have. like they do everything. The gondolas feature different Disney characters on the outside as well. So that's good. They look really quite pretty to look at. I mean, it's very colourful when you see them all in a line running down the cable. And yeah, I mean, my final thing to show about this is that I did think that they'd try and get it open for when Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opens on the 29th of August in Hollywood Studios. And I do think that that was probably the original intention, because all them extra guests that they're planning on coming. However, you know, it might have got delayed a little bit. You've got to think a lot of testing's got to take place, safety first, and you never know, it might not have been their original intention to have it open for Galaxy's Edge. Maybe they did want to open it a bit later, but you would just assume that, you know, they've got this big new land opening up, they'd want to have it open for them. But there you go, the finishing touches are going into place, and it will be opening on September the 29th, so, you know, it's a month after Galaxy's Edge. But there we go, let me know your thoughts. Are you going to Walt Disney World at some point this year or next year? Are you looking forward to the new additions? Let me know down below in the video comments. Next up then, some news from here in the UK, and that is from Flamingo Land in North Yorkshire. They applied for planning permission to build a new roller coaster a few weeks ago, and that has actually been approved. So a new 10 inversion roller coaster will be coming to the UK, expected to open next year, a 2020 edition, which is great because it means we've got that opening and a big thrill coaster up at Flamingo Land, and down south at Paultons Park we've got Tornado Springs, a heavily themed area, and a new Mack Ride spinning coaster there. So yeah, two great additions coming to the UK next year. But there we go, planning permission has been accepted. It's mostly being built on the former Corkscrew site, but it's also going to extend out towards Velocity and the main entrance to the park as well. So certainly very exciting. The coaster itself on the documents is just known as Inversion. I am hoping that's not going to be the name. I'd like to see them go down obviously a themed route. I don't know if they will do. Flamingo Land don't particularly go too much into the storylines behind their coasters, but it'd be nice to see it well landscapes around there with some theming. I mean, the areas around Kumali, that looks really nice with the rockwork entrance and you know, all the fences around, all the like the grass savanna what they created. I like to see more theming going into this, but you know what, the coaster itself, I'm sure it's going to be great. You know me, I'm a bit of a Colossus fanboy down at Thorpe Park, and this is a near clone of Colossus. There's a few differences. This will be a newer model. It should feature the trains with lap bars. It's also got a very different style profile drop. Instead of it sort of curving round and going into the drop like Colossus and then into the loop, with this it sort of banks down to the left a lot more before going into that first inversion, which is the loop. But yeah, this model has been sat there in storage. It was supposed to be going to a park in Brazil. They basically couldn't afford to finish it and open it, so I think Flamingo Land have got a bit of a good deal on this one, hence why we're seeing it come to the park. And yeah, I think it'll be a great addition to the UK. Really look forward to it. I hope to get up there later in the year and see some construction taking place. All the groundwork was going on earlier this year when we went and filmed the vlog, so check it out if you've not seen it. But yeah, there we go. Let me know your thoughts on this new 10 inversion roller coaster coming to Flamingo Land for 2020. Very, very exciting. The final bit of theme park news that I'm going to share with you is from West Coast Racers, a coaster that should be opening, fingers crossed, at some point in 2019. This is at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California. It's a Premier Rides roller coaster that crosses over itself 14 times. It's also got 4 inversions in there as well. And it's one of these coasters where you're going to do half of the layout and race against the other half, and then you'll sort of swap over and do that as well. And that's how it all happens in the layout with various different launches and, like I say, then 4 inversions. So yeah, it's a Mobius coaster basically. But yeah, I'm looking forward to sort of seeing how this all comes together. Got various different construction photos that I'm going to share with you whilst I'm talking about it. But yeah, Premier Rides have built some great stuff. I mean, the Skyrocket 2 is something that I really enjoy that they've done. Full Throttle, I went on that at Magic Mountain in 2015. Fantastic roller coaster. It has been confirmed that this is going to feature the comfort collars, something that I experienced for the first time on a Skyrocket 2 actually at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. A bit pointless in my opinion, because they're not really there as a safety feature for the ride, because it doesn't need the over-the-shoulder style restraint. It just needs a lap bar, and if you go on Skyscream at Holiday Park in Germany, that has just got a lap bar. But these comfort collars, I think it's basically to stop you from jolting forward too much. You know, if you did sort of get whipped forward in the train, it means that they're going to hold you back on your shoulders. So I can kind of see it's more of a safety of the rider to stop them leaning forwards too much, other than a way of restraining you and keeping you in your seat really on the ride. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But yeah, West Coast Races, it was supposed to open earlier. I mean, it took ages for this to get off the ground. But there was a recent construction site tour that took place this week, and apparently the park have said that it is going to open in September 2019, so not too long to go. If you are planning a visit out there for later this year, then fingers crossed you're going to get to ride it, because it looks interesting. I mean, the colour scheme there, like the white and yellow track racing against each other, I think it'll be interesting, to be honest. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all comes together. But yeah, at least we know it is going to be opening still this year. I was starting to get concerned and think, are Six Flags just going to push this back and make it a 2020 edition? But there we go. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the video comments. Of course, there's not been loads and loads of news this week. Like I say, for some reason it's just been a really quiet one, which is strange because for most of the year there's been so much news to talk about. But yeah, we've got some 2020 rumours here from the UK, and that is about a potential development, Alton Towers in the Cloud Cuckoo Land themed area, and Blackpool Pleasure Beach. There's rumours of them potentially getting a new ride next year as well. Obviously they had Icon that opened last year, but they're looking at getting something next year according to some rumours. So, you know, I don't normally speculate on rumours a lot. However, I think it'd be quite nice because there's not much news going on this week. Let me know your thoughts on these two rumours. I mean, what would you like to see come to Cloud Cuckoo Land at Alton Towers? Would you like to see a complete retheme, a dark ride, flat rides, and likewise with Blackpool Pleasure Beach? What sort of ride would you put in? Would you put in like an Intamin gyro swing or a Mondial top scan? You know, or would it be a very compact coaster? Me personally, I can't see Blackpool going for a big coaster again, not after Icon last year. However, I could see maybe a flat ride going in, something that costs a few million. We had Skyforce quite a few years back now, you know, and that seemed to do okay for them. So something along those lines, maybe with a bit higher capacity as well than that. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. It's not very often we talk about speculation, so to speak. This show's normally about the hard facts, but I thought let's have a bit of speculation this week. Comment down below and I'll pick out some of my favourites and I'll share them in next Friday's episode that will be on location. Ooh. Where am I? Right then, so welcome to Where Am I? A lot of people struggled in last week's photo, so here we go. This is what I showed you all. Some people thought I was sat in a coaster train. I wasn't. I'm actually sat in a classic retro Dodgems car at Folly Farm in Wales. So there we go. Fantastic place that. I've been a couple of times, and there we go. Well done to anybody who got that one right. In terms of Folly Farm, there was a reason I put it in, and that's because I'm going back to Wales in a couple of weeks, the first weekend of August, for the Welsh Weekender with the European Coaster Club. Missed it last year, did it for years in a row, and then missed it. But going back again this year, can't wait. Camping there for a few nights, and of course going to be going to Folly Farm and also Oakwood for a couple of days as well. Some familiar faces going to be there, like Mr. Lee Wood, some other friends of mine as well, and it's going to be a really good few days. Some more videos to come for the channel, so make sure you stay tuned for those. But there we go, let's have another image then, and I'll reveal exactly where I am in next Friday's episode. Here it is, just for fun. Comment down below, where do you think I am in that photo? There we go. And like I say, come back to next Friday's On Location episode where I'll reveal exactly where I was. So yes, welcome to your theme park moments, the part of the show where you get to send in your pictures, whether you're doing a funny pose at the front of a ride, it's an on-ride photo, or anything else like a birthday celebration. Send it in to us here at Theme Park Worldwide via our official Facebook and Instagram pages. Message it over to us, Charlotte will get back to you, and we'll put your photo in for next week's episode. So here we go, let's start off with what's been sent in this week. We've got Danny, who's got a photo there with his daughter on her first ever roller coaster. There we go, the Spook Express at Joyland in Great Yarmouth. We then got Ola with a River Rapids on-road photo from Alton Towers. And then got Hayden getting his 50th roller coaster credit on the Rushtabahn at Tivoli. So there we go, thanks for sending that one in. We then got Joey on Nemesis Inferno. And then we've got Chloe at Thorpe Park. Also at Thorpe Park we've got Tom. And then we've got Mark and Luke on Drop Dead. What am I going on about, Luke? I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. They got Matthew with an on-ride photo from the Swarm. Moving on, we've got Melissa, Chloe and Mia at the Alton Towers Dungeon. Ooh. We then got Bobby and Bailey on the Smiler. And then we got Oggy at Paulson's Park. Great photo there with that sign, love it. Then got Frankie and Chris at Adventure Island. And then we got Danielle and Bernice on Baron 1898. Moving on then, we've got Jenny and Dan at Disneyland Paris. And then we've got Tammy, who had a photo there with Alex. Up next we've got Ken and Giles at SeaWorld Australia. I'd love to go out there at some point. Following on from that, we've got Joel just here at the York Dungeon, and then William at Alton Towers. Up next, Anthony's here at Sato Park, and then we've got David and Jason at Boutzilla. Hey, I did it for the first time the other day at Thorpe Park. The vlog's to come, so make sure you check it out. Then we've got Joe and Chris at Legoland, and then we've got Keris with a Velocity on-ride photo. Then they've got Emily and Courtney at the West Midlands Safari Park. Kyle's up next outside Stealth at Thorpe Park. We've got Jack, Matt and George at Alton Towers. Hope you all had a great day. We've got Amelia, Josh and Danielle at Pleasure Beach just there as well. So thank you very much for sending that one in. And they've got Ken and family on Chiapas just there. And we've got the Stubble family at Legoland just there. On Legoland, at Legoland, definitely. Then we've got Seth. What's going on today? At Alton Towers. Moving on from that, we've got Johnson at Hansa Park in Germany. James also in Germany, but at Hyder Park just there. Then we've got Sarah, India and Ryder at Chessington World of Adventures. Then we've got Nathan outside Taran at Phantasialand in Germany. Jake at the Forest Coaster over in Wales. And then we've got Ryan at Alton Towers just there as well. Up next we've got Liam and Katie at Park Asterix. We then got Alex just here at Alton Towers. And finally we got Rob, Luke and Yada outside Max Force just there. There we go. Thanks for sending that one in. Of course, as always, we've got the birthdays. So happy birthday to Georgia, Alan, Megan Taylor, Seth Ford, Adam and Luke. Happy birthday from me and Charlotte and everyone else here at Theme Park Worldwide. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. There we go, we've come to the end of this week's episode. Bit of a shorter one. Like I say, there's just not been loads going on in the theme park industry this past week. But I'm sure by next Friday there'll have been more announcements, more news to talk about. And of course, as always, I'll keep you all up to date on everything that's happening in the theme park industry from all across the world. I'm Sean Sandbrook, thanks for watching Theme Park Worldwide. And that means it's time to cue those credits. See you next Friday.